somewhat in the midpoint of the season. Again, we play 17 games, and there's 18 games in the season. So it's like this is kind of the midpoint of the season, but then also we play 17 games, so there is no this is the mid-season review. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, mid-season review. Really, really, really hoping that at this point, getting to this point of the season, we weren't 2-7. Hell, I would have took 4-5 at this point, but no. Sitting here at 2-7, we're going to be breaking down a lot of things. We're going to be talking about where they are in the draft position. We're going to be talking about the remaining schedule. I'm going to give you stats on the team leader stats, where we're going, what has happened. So I got a lot to talk about. Before we jump into that real quick, got to shout out my guys at Backroom Collections. Be sure to go grab yourself some fantastic artwork. You guys, I don't know if you could see it. I said last time you could see it, but let me grab one. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic artwork. This is the Merino one. Again, great quality wood, canvas. Go grab yourself some. It doesn't have to be Dolphins. It doesn't even have to be NFL. They do it all. Go grab yourself some. Use the promo code DDW and you get yourself 10% off. So let's jump into this. Like I said, Miami Dolphins right now sitting at 2-7. Let's look at some of the stats right now. I'm not going to go into full detail. Like I can give you total first downs and stuff. I can't give you rankings though. Normally, I forgot what the website's called. It's like Football Reference or something. Gives me where they're ranked in the NFL, but they're kind of slow being that I'm recording this Sunday night because this week is going to be, everything's going to be jam-packed together. So I'm going off of NFL.com and they have the stuff. So, total first downs, Dolphins have 169. When it comes to third down conversions, they're 52 for 123. That ain't very good. 7 for 13 on fourth down conversions, more than half. Total offensive yards, 2,677. Their opponents, they're 3,527. Offensive plays, average yards, roughly. Offensive plays, 574. Average yards is 4.7. Opponent is 611 to 5.8. Total rushing yards, 672. Opponent is it's literally one from 1,000. It's 999. Average about 3.4 yards a carry. Total passing yards, 2,001. Opponent, 2,528. Dolphins have 17 sacks. Have given up 23 sacks, 9 for 13 on field goals, whereas their opponents are 20 for 22. Touchdowns, 18. Opponents are 26. And then average time of possession, the Dolphins hold the ball for about 28 minutes, 53 seconds, where their opponent is 32 minutes and 13 seconds. And then the turnover ratio is -5. So we give it up about five more, I guess you could say. Looking at the leaders in stats, the passing leaders, Jacoby Brissett played more games. Jacoby Brissett is 1,127 passing yards. Rushing leader is Myles Gaskin with 313 yards. That is horrible, but at least it's not the quarterback. Receiving yards, Mike Gesicki. Resign that man. Leader in tackles is Jerome Baker. Leader in sacks is Emmanuel Ogbah with 2.5. Interception leader is Xavier Howard with 2. At this point, I think he had like quadruple that. When you look at the quarterbacks, Jacoby Brissett, 7 games played to Tua Tagovailoa is 5, which total 9. How does that total 9? It's probably games started. But you look at the completions, 130 from Brissett to Tua's 103. But Tua's getting, he's got more average yards and more yards per game. Touchdown 7, 5 interceptions for Tua. Touchdowns 5, 4 interceptions for Brissett. Brissett sacked more, 16 sacks to 7 of Tua. And then their quarterback rating, Tua, is a little bit higher. Let's look at the Tankathon. Let's look at where they are right now in their draft position. Again, they don't own their own first-round pick. The Philadelphia Eagles do, and as of they're sitting right now, they are third, sitting at 2-7. You got the Jets, Jacksonville, Washington, at 2-6. They already all had their byes. Miami hasn't had their bye yet. And the Dolphins have a lower win strength of schedule. Actually a little higher strength of schedule. So they're harder matchups, whereas the Jets are 4.73 and Jacksonville is 4.90. So Dolphins would lose the strength of schedule battle if there was a tie at all 2-7. But the pick that we actually have from the San Francisco, just had a brain fart. San Francisco 49ers, we're 9th. We got the 9th overall pick. It's not bad. Will we have it by the time the draft comes? I don't know. But the way the 49ers are playing right now, I could see the Dolphins still having a top 10 pick. And I could still see the Dolphins potentially get a top 10 talent, which I am fine with. All said and done. So that being said, so that gives you a little bit of a rundown of what is going on right now. But like I said, looking at where the Dolphins are right now at the midpoint of the season, no one there's the fans that, you know, I've heard you guys in the comment section. I've heard you guys on Twitter say, I called it. You know, I said that the Dolphins were going to be this, and I said this and that, and blah blah blah. Honestly, the way they're playing now, it's inconsistent. That is my biggest. We're at the halfway point in the season, and that is my biggest takeaway from the 2021 season. Inconsistent. The defense plays well, the offense doesn't. The offense plays well, the defense doesn't. It's just inconsistent. This was a prime example against the Texans. The defense was playing really well. The offense was playing like garbage. Bills game, defense is playing really well. Offense is playing like garbage. Falcons game, offense is playing really well, putting up 4 touchdowns, 28 points. Defense can't make a one stop. Yes, they played well and they made some stops here and there, but they weren't playing great. You gave up 30 points. That's not great. Jaguars game, you know, lost by 3. You know, there's so many games where defense will put up points and the offense will put up points, the defense will disappear, and vice versa. Raiders game, pick 6. Offense couldn't do much after that, you know, give up a safety, all that stuff. So it's very inconsistent. A lot of it has to do, and I talked about this. I talk about this a lot. I think, it's my opinion. You can take it or leave it. But I honestly think that there is talent on this team. I honestly think there is talent, and we saw it today, even though a lot of it's hurt, but we saw it today in Javon Holland. That's talent. Mike Gesicki, that's talent. Jalen Waddle, talented there. A lot of it's on the defense. We have a lot of talent on the defense, not so much on the offensive line or the offense in general. To me, this team is young. And it shouldn't be this young. Going into your 3rd year of a rebuild, you constantly think, oh, we're gonna, you know, you add and then you add, and you want to add that veteran leadership not only to the offense, defense, and the players, but to the coaching staff. This team as a whole, from top to bottom, is young. A lot of inexperience in the coaching, a lot of inexperience on the field. And that is why there's such a drastic drop-off from last year. I honestly think that you bring some veteran leadership, not only on the team, or you kept some veteran leadership on the team, Bobby McCain, Kyle Van Noy, Eric Flowers, but also keep that veteran leadership in the coaching room. I think this team would have won a lot more games. They would have made the right decisions. They would have made the right changes, because that's the other thing that I'm noticing with this team. Last year, they made a lot, you know, we'd start slow. And then at halftime, they'd make the right decisions. They make the right changes. Was it because Chan Gailey was there helping Brian Flores? Was it because the veterans in the locker room would get everyone together and say, this is what we got to do? But they would, and then come out in the second half and play a completely different, harder game. Score that first touchdown after half. Like, it was a different team. This year, it's like they make the opposite changes. Prime example, I think the last 2 games, once the second half came around, they went away from playing that aggressive, blitzing, man coverage defense. And I, you know, yes, we held the Texans to 9 points, but it was driving me nuts seeing them get too conservative. Like, they backed away a little bit from what was working. The fact that Xavier Howard said after, 8 weeks, they started calling the defensive scheme and the defensive plays that they were last year that was working. Like, it's these things that are driving me nuts, and it's taking them too long to recognize the problems and fixing them. Jesse Davis needs to be taken out of right tackle. Plain and simple. and we'll do the film breakdown on Wednesday. But he needs to be taken out of the right tackle position. It is what it is. He's just get him out of there. You take Austin Jackson. It took you weeks to put him at left guard. He's still struggle bus city. You have Liam Eichenberg, who's struggling at left tackle. Just make the moves. You have Greg Little that you traded for. What's wrong with him that you trade for him and you don't want to see him on the field? There's players on this team that should get the chance, and they're not. And the same thing with dropping, I kept saying Jenkins, but it was, I think, Adam Butler, dropping him into coverage on defense, dropping Jalen Phillips into coverage on defense. Stop doing it. You're so stubborn and thinking it'll eventually work. If it's not working, stop doing it. And it's not working. Every time you go into zone, it doesn't work. So I think a lot of the reason we're sitting here at 2-7 is the coaching. And I get a lot of flack for that. You think there's talent on this team? There is no talent on this team. This team's garbage. I think there's talent. I think there's young, raw talent. And I also think there is just talent on this team. And I think with the right coaching, with the right experienced coaching, this team would be in a different position they are in now. But Brian Flores thinks, I know these coaches and these guys have promise and they have. Yeah, everyone has promise. But sometimes promise doesn't get you anything. So they needed the veteran leadership. So that's why I think we're sitting right now at 2-7. That being said, though, looking at the rest of the schedule, like I said, this Thursday they are playing the Ravens at home. Then they're heading to New Jersey to take on the Jets. I will be at that game. Then they're home for the Panthers, home for the Giants, bye week, home for the Jets. If the Dolphins had a 500 record right now, which they couldn't because it's 9 games, but if they had around a 4-5, 5-4 record right now, and you look at the rest of the games, 6 of the last 9 games are at home, and 3 of them are winnable games against the Panthers, the Giants, and the Jets. That's home. And then you got to go to the Jets, to New Orleans, and to Tennessee. But they're home. So looking at the rest of the schedule, I think I'm not going to say they're going to sweep the Jets. We'll see how they do in Jersey on the 21st. I don't think they're going to beat the Ravens. Give you a little bit of a spoiler for my preview video that's going to come out tomorrow. I don't think they'll beat the Ravens. I think the Ravens always, just a head and shoulders above the Miami Dolphins. But you got that run at the Jets, the Panthers, and the Giants. Those 3 games are extremely winnable. Will they do it? Will they band together? Will they play better? Will we get the defense that held the Bills to 3 points in the first 2.5 quarters, held the Texans to 9 points? Will we get that defense matched up with the offense that scored 28 points and all these other points? Will we get them matched together and actually win 3 games in a row, possibly 4 games in a row after the bye, taking on the Jets at home? Can that happen? I don't know. I don't know. But looking at the schedule, the rest of the schedule, like I said, some people say, they're not going to win another game the rest of the year. I don't think that's true. Watching the Atlanta Falcons beat the Saints, watching the Jaguars beat the Bills, watching the Jets beat the Titans any given Sunday. But I could see them winning another 4 games minimum. So they'll be sitting at 6-11? Complete 180 from last year. And then you really have to think to yourself, if you're Stephen Ross, do I make a move now? Do I make a change now? Which we all know the way Stephen Ross is. He likes to wait an extra year. It was a down year, and a lot of things happened, and this and that. Let's see what he does one more year. Let's see how they do with one more year under their belt. And then it's too late. We miss out on potential good head coaches, and it never pans out. So does he make the move? And does he make a move in such a way that he's like, you had so much money, so much draft picks, so much time, and you put bad quality on the field. It's time to make the move. Does he also get rid of Greer? I don't know. But like I said, I could see them winning a minimum of 4 games. Where they are, I don't know. But looking at the last 8 games of the season, I could see about 4 wins. 4 more wins. So you're sitting at 6 wins. To me, just do better than the 49ers. Let's real quick look at the 49ers last few games of the season. So right now I said I predict the Dolphins to go 6-11. and the 49ers now sitting at 3-5. So if you look at the rest of their games, they're facing the Rams. I think that's going to be a loss. So I'm put a 1 there. Jacksonville they'll probably beat. Minnesota they'll lose. Seattle I think they'll lose. Same thing with Cincinnati. Atlanta, the Tennessee they'll lose. They'll beat Houston. Atlanta's an interesting one. And they're home for Atlanta. That's an interesting one. I'll give them a win for Atlanta. And then the Rams, they'll lose. So they'll be sitting at 6-11 as well. And then it all depends on the tiebreaker. Because right now, when it comes to the strength of schedule, which if you have a lower strength of schedule and you do worse, you get the higher pick. And right now, their strength of schedule is 5-17, whereas the Miami Dolphins' strength of schedule is 4-93. So they would get the better pick. So you'd be looking at like the Dolphins at like 8, and then the 49ers at 9, which means it would be Eagles would just have the one pick above us, which to me, whatever, as long as it's not top 5 or anything. But we'll see. Sitting at 6 wins, I don't know where that would get us. Right now, there's a lot of 3, 4, 2 win teams, and you got Detroit sitting there with 0-8. They'll probably take a quarterback with that first overall pick. But comment below. Let me know what you think of the midseason. I know we all are suffering. We expected so much more, but with the jettisons that they did and with the moves they did, it's kind of fool's gold. It's kind of for me personally, I looked at what Brian Flores and Greer did, going from 5-11 to 10-6, and what they were doing this offseason. You heard a lot of me saying, I'd like this to get done. I'd like to see them do this, this, and that. And then when they didn't do it, I'm like, all right, well, who am I to say anything? Trust them because they took us from this to that. I was wrong. Because obviously they didn't know what the hell they were doing, because they took us from 5-11 to 10-6, now potentially to 6-11. We'll see if we surprise some teams and potentially get to, we can't be 500 anymore, but get more than 6 wins. I would be surprised if they got more than 6 wins. But yeah, comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to get to one of your guys' comments of the day. This one comes from ERT Sept, and he says, "Hey Doug, comment of the day. Is it weird? Why did our team play more disciplined when we run our old defense? Could it be our team is more comfortable? Also, why does Flores trust Sanders to kick a 50-yard to close out the game?" I'm assuming you say why doesn't. I think a lot of it has to, because you can't even say it was the quality of play team we played, because you're looking at the Houston Texans. Oh well, blah blah blah. They held the Bills for 2.5 quarters, 3 points. It's like I said, for some reason, they take forever to realize, oh, this isn't working. This was working. Let's go back to this. Oh, he doesn't do well in this position. Let's put him back in this position. Oh, he does. It takes them too long to notice that. But again, the yin and yang has to happen, where the defense all of a sudden is clicking, and then the offense needs to start clicking. Like I said, you put 28 points up against the Falcons, and again, it's the Falcons, but the Falcons are actually playing pretty well. They just beat the Saints. Do that when the defense is also holding the opponent to 3 points, or holding the opponent to 9 points. Shut it out. Like it's a yin and yang situation. So I think they're more comfortable because they're in the position they should be, and they're in a position that they don't have to overcompensate, and cause penalties. So I think that's why they look more comfortable, more disciplined. And when it comes to why didn't they trust Sanders on the 50-yard field goal, I wanted them to kick the 50-yard field goal for one reason and one reason only. I think Sanders was going to make it. I trust Sanders. He had 3 misses this year. 2 of them were blocked. And I think he would have made it, me personally. But it was a smart decision, because what happens is Pilardi punts it. They get the ball on the 2-yard line with like 40 seconds. They have to march 90 yards versus getting the ball potentially on their own 45-ish. And then they only have to go half the distance of the field in less time. So I understand where he's coming from. But me personally, I think you kick that field goal, I think Sanders makes it, and then it doesn't matter. They can't win, because it's not 8 points anymore. It's 11. So at that point, Dolphins defense can just play prevent, and they can do whatever the hell they want. It don't matter. They could do a little end of the last second pitching and lateral. It wouldn't matter because they're down by 11. But thank you so much for the comment. Like I said, guys, I got a lot planned for you over the next couple days. Tomorrow is going to be the preview, and then Wednesday you're getting 2 videos, Big O show, and then also the film breakdown later on that night. And then Thursday you're getting the picks video, and then Friday and Saturday and Sunday I'm going to rest. Unless there is breaking news. If there's breaking news, I will get you a video. If not, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to rest. Because God knows I need it. But then Monday, Tuesday, back to the normal schedule. But then next Sunday, hopefully I get to see some of you guys in person because I'm going to the Jets game. So other than that, guys, like usual, love you guys. Love all the support. Stay classy. My fence up.